Well, hello everybody and welcome. People have been asking what sort of camera equipment we use to make these vlogs while we're travelling around and living full time in our motorhome. Well, the camera I'm using right now, you might notice that the view is somewhat different because I'm recording this on my iPhone with a nifty little lens attachment. And let me just take that off. You'll see a bit of a darkness go round. There you are. That's the normal view for the iPhone, but I've got this Orky 2-in-1 wide angle lens. It does come apart like that, and there's a, let me just pop that back over the lens there. You won't see very well there, but that's without that bit, because it's a macro-y type lens as well as a wide angle. If I put the wide angle attachment on and then pop that back over, there we go, you'll see the view gets a lot wider and a lot deeper. But I'm going to show you the type of equipment we use to make these videos. So the first things first is I have an iPad Pro. It doesn't have to be a Pro to use this software, but I use Lumofusion to edit the videos. That's just launching up, and you'll see that's the end screen and the software. This is the timeline, and if you look back through, you'll see me doing a review of this software, Lumofusion, from a company called Lumofusion. The software is excellent and seriously simple to use, so that's what I use to edit. It all links up to the Photos app on iOS, and the iOS photos sync up with my phone and my iPad Pro, my MacBook Pro laptop. So yeah, so that's all that. That's the sort of editing part, and you know, if I can find it, I'll link up here to the review of the Lumofusion software, so you can see how that all works. But I also use normally this camera, which is the Panasonic Lumix G7. I'll just take that bit off the top of there, because that's all the sound equipment. It's quite a neat little camera. It's, as I say, it's the G7. It's got a kit lens, which is a 14 to 45 zoom lens, which is great. It works well, and it's mostly on 14 millimeters, so that when we're out and about I can hold it at arm's length and look at the lens. It's not too heavy, so I can hold that pretty steady for quite a while, a few minutes. Takes great still images as well. So well, let's just get that sorted out. So here's how I'm shooting at the moment. There you go. So you can see that image there with the iPhone, with the screen facing me, and the Orky wide angle lens. Sat behind that is the let's just get one of these. Sat behind that is the Rodelink Filmmaker radio mic receiver, and what I've got plugged in to, so I've got the little extra attachment for the iPhone plugged in, so that the iPhone can take the sound from this little microphone here, my what they call lavalier mic or lapel mic, and I've got a transmitter pack, or often in sort of filmmaking circles called a body pack. I just shove in my pocket, and the cable for that goes down the inside of my shirt, and the microphone just clips on. Let's just show you that up close. So that's the mic that I'm using, and that just gets clipped on down on my shirt there, quite unobtrusive, but gives you the ability to move around. And even if I move almost out of shot, hello, you can still hear me quite well as I walk the whole length of the lounge. So I'm right down one end of the lounge, and that other shot was sort of right level with the habitation door. So that's the sort of sound equipment that I use, and the camera for taking still shots. Easy to take the still shots on that button. The video button is that little red one there. So if I want to record video, and let's just shove a little bit of video in, and so I'm recording video now on the Lumix, and let's just show you that. So let's zoom into there. So that's the sort of thing that I'm recording on now. It's my iPhone. Sat behind there is the receiver pack for the sound, and oh, you might wonder what this little thing is. It's a power pack for the iPhone that's solar powered. So that's the sort of stuff that we use. These things, they have a nice little battery compartment here that just takes a standard Lumix battery. I have 3 of these, one Lumix brand and another 2 that are this X Pro brand of battery. They work just as well, but a fraction of the cost of the Lumix or Panasonic things. And I use a couple of these Lexar SD cards. This is a 64 gigabyte, and I have a 32 gigabyte that is like that. It's exactly the same thing, 32 gigabyte. This little card reader, when I want to import the photos from the camera to my Photos app, that just plugs into the side of there, and then it launches up Photos when it's unlocked. And then I can go to the import section and import whatever is on that card. Once I've imported it, I never delete them off of there until it goes back into the camera, which is usually after I've edited down the footage and got it into Lumofusion and exported up to YouTube. So all of that stuff is how we edit and make the vlogs. In fact, you know, it's unusual for me to record on the iPhone a full episode of our vlog, but you know, I can't remember who was asking. Let me just have a look on the comments. Darren, so thanks for the question, Darren. It's yeah, and while you're thinking about it, can you do a review or list the camera equipment and software you use to do these excellent vlogs? Well, I'm glad to know that you think our vlogs are excellent. That really is, that does make us really, really happy. What I'll do is I'll put a list in of all the kit we use, and some links across to Amazon, where if you want to buy them, you can buy them as well. So you'll know the camera's about, I think the camera's about 600 quid these days. You might be able to get it cheaper on eBay because these are about 4 or 5 years old. You might, if you're considering cameras, you might look at the G80 from Panasonic, but I would seriously consider the Canon M50 as well, which I've been looking at and rather enviously, as I upgraded to a G80 and then it broke. So Amazon very kindly took it back, gave me a full refund, sort of 6 months into the lifespan of it. So that's really good customer service. So I'll put a list of all the stuff we use, including the Filmmaker radio mic kit, which I think is absolutely bang on the money. They are quite expensive. A radio kit, a single mic, body pack, receiver pack is about 249 quid, and I've got 2 of them. And if you want to use 2 of them, you're going to need one of these, which is a Saramonic sound mixer. And it doesn't take batteries or do anything. There's no fancy stuff about it. It just takes the sound input left and right, so left and right, and then takes the sound output into the camera, and the camera has a sound input jack on the side of there, so that plugs in. Honestly, that plugs in there. This thing sits on the hot shoe mount, not connected to anything. It has a cold shoe there, so that sits on there. And then each of these receiver packs, and you know the difference between a receiver pack and a transmit pack or a body pack, because that has RX and the other one has TX, and these just sit on the cold shoe mount there. Once I get it on, that sits on there like that. The other one sits on here for the receiver. This plugs into the right, the other one plugs into the left, and that does. And this little Saramonic box, which is about 35 quid I think, does all the sound mixing. It's just like you can change the volume of the left and right sound mix as well, which is quite good. I'd sort of keep them turned up to about the same amount, and you know, that all works really well. Fantastic bit of kit. The Rode microphone kit is super great. I also use another mic when we're out and about, and I don't want to carry all of that big chunk of tech on top. I use this little mic. Let's just get that off of it. Oh, this all come apart as that's come undone. Let's just get that bit out of there. Yeah, so we've got the end, that end sort of yeah, so all the sort of sound and wind guards have fallen out of the end of there, as that screws onto the end of there. So this is a standard sort of shotgun mic, as they call them. It's very directional. It has sort of that sort of directional footprint, if you like, so it captures sound from that sort of area, so quite directional, doesn't capture much from behind it. So if I'm shooting forward and wanting to do some commentary, I have to take this off, turn it around and face it towards me while we're doing that. This in the trade, as they say, they call this a wind guard or dead cat. It's just a fluffy thing that when the wind blows across it, you don't get all that sound. So that goes on the top of there, sits on there nicely, and that just plugs into the standard jack input on the camera, and that works really well. The other thing is the tripod. Now this is a very sturdy tripod, which we use for a lot of the outside shots when we're sitting down. It's great. It's a photography tripod, so it's not good for panning and tilting for video, because the pan and tilt on this is very, very clumsy and stiff, and it doesn't have that nice fluid motion that you'd want with video. It does go up quite high. It's got three leg sections, so like that and like that. So you'll see how tall it is. Actually, fully extended, the camera wouldn't fit on top inside the van, so it is a very tall tripod. But I've had it for somewhere around 15 or 20 years, and it's a Manfrotto tripod, super quality tripod. The other little tripod I have, which really useful, I've had a couple of these. This is about a year old. Disappointed in the recent quality of this. This is a Gorilla, or a Joby Gorilla Pod, and it has a little sort of quick mount there that you screw on the bottom of the camera. That pops onto there, and then this end you can sort of wrap around things to connect it. You know, if you're out and about and you want to do sort of a further shot away, you can go and sort of grab this onto a lamppost or whatever you're trying to connect your camera to make it steady, or you can use it as a pretty standard tripod, the three-legged thing, or as a lot of people use them, as a sort of a selfie type thing, where you can hold your camera on top of there. I've got to say, fully extended, and with your arm fully extended, with all that other stuff going on, holding that out there to get a bit of a further shot away and using it as a counterbalance, works okay, but it does make it just a little bit heavier. And you know, if you're not super strong in your arms and holding out like that, it can start to wobble a bit, and you just have to stop and start again, maybe with the other arm. But there you are. That's the kit we use. Lots of bits and pieces. The things I can't show you, the iPhone, the little, well, I've got some Rode connector cables, which you need to go from a microphone into the iPhone, which make it work properly. But I'll put lists of all of this stuff in the description below, and you can click on those, go and read about them, and you know, you'll know where to buy them at that point. But thanks so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please do give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to continue watching our journey as we travel around the UK and Europe, having fun living in a motorhome. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, let us know what camera kit you use to do your photography and videos. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.